I recognize that you're a kind individual, but it's crucial to remember that not everyone shares your qualities. Our hearts are inclined to believe there's a remedy for the world's problems, and we place our faith in people. However, if we aren't cautious, we might get hurt. Sadly, there are many wicked individuals, and sometimes they will cross our paths. Pay close attention to the warning signs and avoid such people. You've likely encountered someone truly malevolent, someone who wounds others emotionally without regret and exploits others' weaknesses. Occasionally, these behaviors are so inconspicuous that we don't recognize we're dealing with a malicious person. Let's discuss the indicators that suggest you're interacting with someone like that. Some people will always make you feel guilty about a situation or pretend to like you in person, but talk badly about you behind your back. It's essential to prepare yourself because outsiders may attempt to disrupt your peace, and sometimes it might be members of your own family. Family is a divine blessing, of that I am certain. However, unfortunately, some people lean heavily towards their worst selves. In today's video, I'll reveal 9, or rather 10, signs indicating you're dealing with a bad individual and what you should do when these people come into your life. Before the first sign, ensure you've liked the video if you're passionate about acquiring life wisdom. If possible, write this down: some people wish to see you do well, but never better than them. This is the absolute truth. Let's dive into the first sign. Number 1, finding joy in others' suffering. Malicious individuals take pleasure in witnessing others suffer. If you know someone who seems to take delight in others' pain, such as laughing or smirking when someone is facing a tough time, that's a clear indication you're dealing with a harmful person. This behavior reflects a complete lack of empathy and can lead to damaging situations created for their own pleasure. Imagine a coworker who, instead of offering assistance when you're overwhelmed, laughs at your struggles, or a friend who makes jokes out of your personal issues instead of providing support. These actions aren't just insensitive, they disclose a cruel nature. Such people might even provoke negative situations intentionally just to enjoy someone else's misery. They might spread gossip and create conflicts merely to watch people's reactions and relish the chaos they've instigated. It's vital to recognize these signs early on and distance yourself from individuals displaying this kind of behavior to protect your emotional health and well-being. Number 2, a need to control your life. Malicious people are incredibly controlling. They feel uneasy and powerless if they aren't in control of every facet of their lives and those around them. They'll go to great lengths to ensure things unfold according to their desires and will misuse power if not met with resistance. Consider a boss who insists on reviewing every tiny detail of your work, not to help, but because they need total control, or a friend who always dictates where you go, what you do, and with whom, without considering others' opinions. These actions demonstrate an obsession with control, which can be stifling. These individuals can also manipulate circumstances to maintain control, setting rigid rules or using emotional blackmail. A typical example is a partner who constantly monitors your whereabouts and who you're talking to, not out of concern but out of a need to dominate your life. This need for control is not only annoying but can be hazardous. Such individuals often exploit and abuse others. Recognizing these behaviors and establishing clear boundaries is essential to protect your independence and emotional well-being. If you notice someone trying to control every aspect of your life, it's crucial to take steps to distance yourself and regain your autonomy. Number 3, feeling uneasy around them. One of the most apparent signs you're dealing with a problematic person is feeling strange in their presence. You might feel tired, restless, or just uncomfortable when they're around. This could be your natural instinct signaling that something is wrong. Imagine being at a family event where everyone is enjoying themselves, but one person always makes you feel tense and uneasy when they're near. Even if that person isn't directly doing anything to you, their presence alone is enough to cause discomfort, which could imply negative energy or malicious intentions. Another scenario is a coworker who makes you feel anxious or drained whenever they approach you. You might not be able to identify exactly what's wrong, but your body and mind seem to recognize that something is off. These sensations should not be ignored. Our instincts often detect signals that our conscious mind might miss. If you consistently feel uncomfortable around someone, it is a warning that the person might not have good intentions. Paying attention to these feelings and giving them proper importance can help you avoid harmful situations and maintain inner peace. Number 4, lack of accountability. Malicious people never accept responsibility for their actions. They always blame others when something goes wrong and like to play the victim. They don't acknowledge their mistakes and often force others to apologize for them. Imagine a coworker who makes an error on an important project. Instead of admitting fault, they quickly point fingers at you or someone else, claiming the blame lies elsewhere. This not only creates a toxic work atmosphere but also leaves you feeling unjustly blamed. Another example is a friend who constantly lands in trouble and, instead of owning up to their poor choices, always blames others. If they're late for an appointment, it's the traffic or another person's fault. If something goes wrong in their life, they never reflect on their actions, but always find a way to blame others and play the victim. These individuals are also adept at making you feel guilty for their mistakes, manipulating situations so you end up apologizing for something that wasn't even your fault. This is emotionally exhausting and can wear down your self-esteem over time. Recognizing these behaviors is crucial to maintaining your mental and emotional health. People who never take responsibility for their actions can drag you into a cycle of guilt and manipulation. Learning to identify and distance yourself from these people is essential to preserving your well-being. Number 5, habitual lying. Malicious people have a terrible habit of constantly lying. They lie for personal gain and often lie just for amusement or to manipulate others. They don't value your trust or friendship, prioritizing only their interests. Imagine a coworker who always fabricates stories about their achievements at work, exaggerating or even making up facts to stand out, or a friend who claims they missed your event because they were ill, only for you to find out they were elsewhere enjoying themselves. These lies are not only dishonest but show a complete lack of respect for you and others. Liars frequently use their fabrications to manipulate situations and people. For example, a partner who lies about their feelings or intentions to keep you under control or gain an advantage in an argument, or someone who invents gossip or spreads misinformation to cause conflicts among friends or colleagues, all for fun or to benefit somehow. These lies may start as small and seemingly harmless, but over time, they erode trust and damage relationships. If someone frequently lies, even about trivial matters, it's a clear indication that the person does not respect you and is willing to sacrifice your trust for personal gain. Recognizing and confronting these lies is essential to maintaining healthy relationships. If you realize someone has a constant habit of lying, it's important to consider the impact of that person on your life and whether it's possible to maintain any level of trust with them. Honesty is the foundation of any solid relationship, and people who constantly lie cannot provide that foundation. Number 6, absence of remorse. Malicious people do not feel remorse for their actions. They never feel guilty about the negative impact they have on others. When confronted, they manipulate the situation to make you doubt your perception of reality. Imagine a colleague taking credit for your work, and when you address it, they show no regret. Instead, they justify their actions by claiming you wouldn't have achieved it alone or that they were just helping you shine. This type of behavior shows a total lack of empathy and remorse, revealing a deeply selfish and manipulative character. Another example is a friend who consistently makes hurtful comments. When you try to discuss how their comments affect you, they laugh it off and accuse you of overreacting or being too sensitive. This behavior not only demonstrates a lack of remorse, but also attempts to distort your perception of reality, making you question your feelings. These people are experts at twisting situations around. If you point out a mistake or harmful behavior, they quickly become the victims, making you feel guilty for bringing it up. This emotional manipulation clearly indicates that the person lacks genuine remorse and is more concerned with protecting their image. Recognizing the absence of remorse is critical to safeguarding your emotional health. People who do not feel guilt for hurting others are likely to continue such behaviors, knowing there will be no real consequences for them. Identifying this trait and setting clear boundaries is essential to protect yourself and maintain healthy relationships. If someone repeatedly demonstrates a lack of remorse, it's important to consider distancing yourself from that individual to preserve your well-being. Number 7, cruelty. Some malicious people prefer to act openly and cruelly. They can be aggressive, hurting others with words or actions, and take pleasure in others' suffering. A lack of empathy and the capability to intentionally inflict pain are distinctive traits of this type of person. Think of a coworker who doesn't hesitate to make malicious or humiliating comments in front of others. They might point out your flaws or ridicule your ideas during meetings, not to offer constructive criticism, but to demoralize you. This behavior not only damages team morale but also creates a toxic and oppressive work environment. Another example is a friend who makes jokes about your insecurities or personal issues, fully aware it hurts you. They may mock something you shared confidentially and seem to enjoy your discomfort upon seeing your reaction. This lack of empathy and delight in others' pain are clear indicators of a cruel person. These individuals can also be verbally and physically aggressive. A partner who regularly insults you or physically abuses you is demonstrating open cruelty. The intention behind these actions is to hurt and control, showing a complete disregard for others' dignity and well-being. Recognizing cruelty in someone is essential to protecting your emotional and physical integrity. People who are openly cruel have no consideration for others' feelings and can cause significant and lasting harm. Setting boundaries and distancing yourself from these individuals is crucial to ensure your safety and peace of mind. If you're experiencing cruelty, don't hesitate to seek support and take measures to protect yourself. Number 8. Warnings from friends and family about someone's character. If your friends and family are warning you about someone's character, it's important to take these warnings seriously. They may have witnessed toxic and harmful behaviors in the past. Don't disregard these signs because what happened to them could happen to you if you're not careful. Imagine you start dating someone new, and soon your close friends and family express concern. They mention that this person has a history of manipulation and disrespect in previous relationships. It can be hard to accept these critiques, especially if you're emotionally involved, but it's crucial to listen to these concerns carefully. Another example is starting a new job and your colleagues quickly warn you about a particular supervisor. They share stories about how this supervisor often vents his frustration on subordinates, creating a tense and unmotivating work environment, and never assumes responsibility for their mistakes. These stories are not mere gossip but warnings based on real experiences that can save you from unpleasant situations. These warnings from people close to you are invaluable because they come from an external and impartial perspective. Your friends and family have your best interests at heart and have nothing to gain by deceiving you. If several people are cautioning you about the same person, it's a strong sign you need to be careful. It's easy to ignore or downplay these warnings, especially if the individual in question is treating you well at the moment. However, acknowledging and considering these concerns can spare you a lot of trouble later on. If someone repeatedly exhibits toxic and harmful behaviors, these patterns are likely to occur with you as well. Take these warnings seriously and carefully observe the person's behavior. If you notice signs of manipulation, cruelty, or irresponsibility, consider distancing yourself before it becomes too difficult. Your friends and family may notice red flags that you, being closely involved, might not see. Trust them and protect yourself from potential harm. Number 9. Contempt. One of the worst forms of emotional manipulation by a malicious person is contempt. These individuals make you feel inferior by criticizing your appearance, interests, dreams, and anything else they can find. Do not let these people alter your self-perception. Imagine a partner who constantly disparages your appearance, pointing out your physical flaws as if they were unforgivable. They might say things like you'd be more attractive if or why don't you dress better. These comments are not constructive but cruel and intended to undermine your self-confidence. Another example is a friend who mocks your interests and passions, belittling your achievements and dreams as if they were unworthy of respect. They might laugh at your ambitions or hobbies, making you feel ridiculous for pursuing your goals. This type of contempt not only hurts but also makes you doubt yourself and your abilities. Such individuals use contempt as a means of emotional control, weakening your self-esteem so you depend on them for validation and acceptance. They wish to reshape your self-perception according to their own interests and desires without respecting your true self. Do not let these people manipulate your self-image. You are valuable and deserve to be treated with respect and consideration. If someone continually belittles you, it is a clear indication that they are not concerned with your well-being. Protect yourself by distancing yourself from those who persistently try to diminish you and seek relationships that foster your growth and happiness. Number 10. Animal abuse. Cruelty to animals is a stark indicator of a bad person. Mistreating animals can signal deeper issues in someone's character. If you know someone who behaves abusively or neglectfully towards animals, consider distancing yourself from them. Imagine a neighbor who frequently mistreats their dog, yelling at and hitting it for any reason. These actions not only cause suffering to the animal but also reveal a lack of empathy and emotional control in the abuser. This abusive behavior can extend to other parts of that person's life. Another example is someone who keeps their pets in deplorable conditions, neglecting their needs for proper food, hygiene, or health care. Such constant neglect shows a complete disregard for the animal's lives and well-being. These actions should never be ignored or belittled. Research indicates that cruelty towards animals is often connected to violent behavior against humans. It is important to recognize these signs and consider the impact of being around someone capable of such actions. While it might be hard to acknowledge, especially if you're emotionally or otherwise invested in someone, prioritizing both the animals and your own safety and well-being is essential. If you suspect someone is abusing animals, consider distancing yourself from them, and if possible, report the behavior to the proper authorities to protect the animals and prevent further harm. If you know other signs of a malicious person not mentioned here, share them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've stayed with us until the end, write "Good always triumphs over evil" in the comments. If you found these insights worthwhile, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more wisdom.